Hi, it's Shammy here, AccessibleNeats. So today I will show you how to make this cardigan. Very simple, beginner friendly, like the one you saw at the beginning of the video. This is an oversized cardigan, but you can make it according to your size. I wanted mine oversized. It's really simple. It's very easy. So without wasting time, let me show you how I made it and what you need to make it. First of all, I used this. I got this 8-ply. It's an 8-ply cotton yarn. I got about 11 skins for the entire cardigan, but I don't know, depending on how big or how small you want it, of course, that's how much yarn you will need for this project. But yeah, and then I used the 5.5, I don't know if you can see, but it's like 5.5 hook. That's what I used. Of course, you need a tape measure to measure your project and some stitch markers, but not a problem if you don't have stitch markers, because you can always use your yarn to mark your stitches, so it's not really a big deal if you don't have stitch markers. So let's get right into it. Oh, and by the way, this yarn is 100 grams per skein, so yeah, I forgot to mention that. Now, as you can see, I already made I have this big piece here. It's because I already made like almost all the pieces that I need for the cardigan, except for one piece. That's the one that I will use to show you for this tutorial. Now, don't panic, because that's pretty much all you need to know, honestly, because it's very easy. And I have this is the back side. I already made like the two front panels, and I already made one piece for one arm. So I will show you using the second arm how you need to do it, because it's the one pattern, and how you do it is pretty much how you do it for all other pieces. Please forgive me if I sound like I'm blabbering or talking too much. It's my first time making tutorial, so I'm really trying to get the hang out of it, but I hope this tutorial is useful and usable for everyone, especially the beginners. So first of all, obviously you'll need the measurements, and the only most important measurements that you need are for your shoulder to shoulder. So when I say shoulder to shoulder, I mean where your shoulder starts and your left shoulder starts in where your right shoulder ends. So that's pretty much shoulder to shoulder, from one shoulder end to another. And my measurements were 17 inches, but because I want to make it like oversized, I added an extra 3 inches to the 17 inches to make it 20 inches. And this is because I could have made it I could have added more inches, but I know that, when you start a chain, maybe it's 20 inches, but by the time you finish your project, it will obviously increase. I will show you what I mean. Like when I started with this one, the beginning chain was 20 inches long, but by the time the project started coming up longer, it added to the size. Like, let me show you. So this was 20 inches at the beginning for the chain. When I say chain, this is the starting, right? So the beginning was 20 inches, but I will show you. So the project is actually like 23 and a half, but I started with 20 inches chain. So it added an extra 3.5 inches. So yeah, you also need to take note of that. So if your actual measurement, like my actual measurement is 17, but I ended up, and then I added an extra 3 inches. But at the end of my project, like the back part, I ended up with 23 and a half inches. So this is pretty much with everything else that you will do. Whatever measurements you use, there's a higher chance that the project will get bigger, it will increase. So you can either add according to, expecting for an extra 2 inches to be added, or something like that. I hope it makes sense. So the width for my project is 23 and a half inches. I really didn't mind that the size increased because it's oversized, so I don't really mind. It's still within the same size range that I wanted, so that's okay. So that's 23 and a half inches going that way. That's the shoulder to shoulder, pretty much. So you can add the measurements according to how you want it. And for the length also, you decide what kind of length you want. When I measured myself, I wanted my size to be like 30 inches. So the project is 30 inches. Here you go. I don't know if you can see, so that's 30 inches. So yeah, that's the back part. And so with the chain, I started with 20 inches chain. I won't give you like the stitch counting measurements because it's different with everyone, and I think it's safer to use like the measurements because you'll just know like your measurements shoulder to shoulder. If it's 20 inches, just make a chain that's 20 inches. No need to count how many stitches you need. So that's what I will do. I won't give you like a stitch count for the rest of the video. I won't do that. I will just give you measurements, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm a size medium large when it comes to clothes, and so these are my measurements, and so that's it. I'm a size medium large depending on the cut of the items. So this cardigan that I'm making, I'm pretty sure it will be a good fit for someone who wears a size medium or someone who wears a size large. All right, but I'm not sure about the length. Mine is 30 inches because I'm pretty short. I'm pretty short, so 30 inches is a like probably mid thighs for me because I'm short. So after I finished like making this, I measured like 7 inches because this is 23. I think when I got to the top it was like almost 24 inches, so I measured like 7 inches, 8 inches from this part to this part, and from this part to this part, and I left some space here is for the collar. But here's what happened. When I made the front panels, they got longer, so because this is supposed to be the size for, you know, the front panels, each front panel is supposed to be the size, but I wanted them to be bigger, and they got bigger anyway, so I will show you. So these are the two front panels that I made. So this is for one side, one front panel, so I just make half. Ooh. Okay, so I just make a half of it. So these are like 9 inches. From this side to this side it's 9 inches, and from this side to this part is 9 inches. But usually I would recommend that like whatever size you make, here in the middle you leave for this space, you leave about maybe 5 inches. Yeah, I recommend that you leave about 5 inches, but I made this one big, so I made the panels, the front panels big, so they don't quite leave a bigger space, but it will still work. So for the front panels it's 9 inches, but I think I started with 7 inches chain, but at the end of it I got like 9 inches. That's why it became wider than, you know, how I initially wanted it to be. But also, like I said, it's not really a big deal for me. I will try and make it work. So started with 7 inches. Always try to leave for the collar part this space. When I say this, I mean like this space. Yeah, at least try to make sure that there is 5 inches maybe or space between here. But you see, I have like this tiny little piece, but it's okay. So I started with 7 inches and I ended up with 9 inches all the way up to the top. So that's that for the two front panels, made the same way, nothing different. All these pieces are just made the same way. If I show you how to start, how you start is how you do it up until the very last end. And for the final piece that I already made, this is one sleeve. Yeah, one sleeve. I've been calling it an arm all the whole time, but yeah, one sleeve. So this is the sleeve that I made, one piece of the sleeve. The sleeve was I did 14 inches for the chain. I did 14 inches because I wanted a little baggy. 14 inches for the chain, and from this part the length is about, let me see, the length for the sleeve is, okay, so it's 14 inches for the chain and 14 inches for the width. And the width I started with 14 inches chain, but after the end I ended up with 15. But when I initially started for the chain, the width I had 14 inches, and now the sleeve is finished, I have 15 inches, and for the length is 14 inches. So yeah, this is one sleeve, and now I will show you how to make the other sleeve, and that's just how you will do it for the rest of the pieces. No difference, all the same concept, the same stitch, everything is the same. All right, so now I will show you how to make the chain, how to start the project. So this is for the arm. Remember, for the arm I said I needed 14 inches. So we start with the chain. My chain will be 14 inches. And I think for my chain, my 14 inches was about 45 stitches, if I'm counting stitches with a chain. But I really recommend that we just use inches to measure, so that makes it easy, you know, because some people have like a tight grip when it comes to their stitches, some people have loose. So if we really want to go by the stitches and all, I think that would just kind of mess up the measurement. So let's go with your, you know, your measurements. So now I will show you how to start the chain. I know everyone has their own way of doing it, but this is how I do it. I just twist it around my finger like this, and but of course everyone has their own way of starting. Not perfect, but yeah, anyways, the whole idea is just to get like a loop to get started. So this is the chain. I'm sure everyone can make a chain stitch, you know. 1 2 3 4. So I need about 14 inches or 45 stitches, but I will use inches. So pretty much I will continue to do this until I have my 14 inches, right? So I will just come back when I have the right length of the stitches that I need. All right. All right, I think I have the right amount of stitches that I need, but I will measure just to make sure. Remember I said 14 inches with mine. Okay, that's like almost 13 and a half. I will add another 2. 1 2. I should have like, so this is my chain. This is 14 inches. As you can see, this is for the second sleeve that we need to complete this project. All right, so now we have our 14 inches for the sleeve. Now we begin working on our pattern. Okay, so 14 inches, this is where our 14 inches end, right? So now you need to add 3 more chains. Okay, 1 2 3. All right, 1 2 3. From our last stitch that marks the 14 inches, you add 3 more chains, and when you add 3 more chains, you make a loop. You loop, right? So 1 2 3, make a loop, and then 1 2 3. On the 4th stitch, you go in there, and we're making a double crochet. All right, so that's 1 2, and you loop. On your next stitch, double crochet. I'm sure everyone knows what double crochet is. 1 2, make a loop, double crochet, 1 2. So this is how you will do your project up until the very last end. So I will do it a couple more times, and then I will finish this, the rest of the stitches off camera, and I'll come back when I'm towards the end. All right, so you loop, stitch, I'll put it close, I hope you can see, put in the stitch, and 1 2, loop, so you loop. This is, like I said, this is how you will be doing it till the very end. All right, see, this is what you have. So I will finish the rest of the chains and come back towards the end. All right, so we're back and still doing the same thing. loop, just do a double crochet. This is an easy stitch even for people who haven't crocheted before. I feel like it's very easy, it's very doable, and it's not complicated. So we just move like that. And towards the end, okay, I have 2 more stitches to make. And remember, when you do this, you're not skipping any stitches right from the beginning. Remember, just like how I told you. So this is my last stitch. This is my last stitch. So I will loop, put the hook, you know, and make my double crochet. Now I'm finished, no more chains left. So what I will do is I chain 3, chain 3, 3. So I chain 1, 2, 3. All right, and turn my work, make a loop. Now you see we have like the spaces here, so you just don't skip any space. We chain 3, we looped in the first stitch right after our last chain is where you will place the hook, right? So chain 3, turn our work, make a loop, and go into that space and continue to do the same thing that you're doing. Second, so see what I meant when I say this is very easy? So you're doing the same thing, chain 3. Nothing changes, nothing is different. The only different thing is the sizes of the pieces that you make and the measurements, whether you're making a sleeve, you're making a front panel, you're making the back panel. The method is the same, the pattern is the same, only sizes in the difference is the sizes in the panels depending on which side they go, front, back, sleeve. So that's pretty much what you do. So I will continue to do this up until the very last end. No skipping any stitches, nothing fancy, just continue to do your double crochet and up until the end. I will do a couple more and then I will come back after I've reached the end of the row. So this is how it looks so far. All right, so see you at the end. All right, so now I'm almost at the end of this row. So nothing has changed as usual, just like how we did it at the beginning. This is how we're still doing it. So you make a loop, put in your stitch there, and that's it. Make a loop. Okay, make a loop. Okay, and this is my last stitch. My last stitch, make a loop, go in there, make your double crochet, and of course you know what's next. And now we will make 3 chains. This is what you do at the beginning and at the well, at the end pretty much. Make 3 chains, 1, 2, 3. Turn your work, turn, always turn after you make a chain. Turn your work, make a loop. We don't skip any stitches. Right immediately the first stitch there, place your hook and make your double crochet. How easy is this? Like, you can't tell me you can't do this. This is like, I think, the easiest as far as crocheting goes for the stitches. So make a loop, go in the next stitch, make your double crochet, make a loop. You know, sometimes I'll probably use terms that are not like, you know, technically correct in crocheting because I'm self-taught. I just know how to make the stitches. Most of the times I don't even know the names of the stitches or, you know, the technical terms when it comes to crocheting, how to use. So it's easier if you look than, you know, if you try to listen to my, you know, the terms that I use for the stitches. It's just in case, you know, your stitch patterns very well and all that stuff. So yeah, I'm still learning too. Every day is a learning curve, so that's what it is. Make a loop and make your double crochet, make a loop. So this is what I'll do and we'll finish up until the very last end of the row. All right, let's do that and we'll meet at the end. But of course, when we get to the end, we'll do the same steps as we did for the last 2 rows. Nothing will change, like I said. I'm back now towards the end of my row, and this is how it's looking like so far. As usual, nothing has changed. We're still going with our double crochet. Make a loop, get into the stitch and make a double crochet, and yeah, pretty much that's it. This is my last stitch, so I go in there, make the last double crochet, and of course chain 3. So how we chain 3, like this, the last stitch, I make the last double crochet, right? Make the last double crochet, so this is the last double crochet, and then I start from here, make a chain 1, 2, 3. All right, and turn my work. So I turn my work, always make a loop, no skipping of any stitches. The first stitch there, that's what you use, and yeah. So now this is what I'll do. This is pretty much what you do till the very end. This is what you do for the back panel. This is what you do for the 2 front panels. This is what you do for the other sleeve. All right, so now I will finish up this sleeve to get the length that I want, my length, which is 14 inches long, right? So I will finish this off camera, and then we come back and we finish the rest of the cardigan. That's like putting all the pieces together and making the ribbing around the entire cardigan. But of course, before I finish, one more time for the people who want to see it again, all right? Make a loop, get into the stitch, and I'm starting to sound like a broken record right now because I've been saying the same thing. Make a loop, and all right, so let's meet at the end when I finish this piece. All right, see ya. Done with the second sleeve. That's the sleeve that we're working on. So it's supposed to be 14 inches long, the length. So I will measure to make sure that I have 14 inches. Yeah, we have 14, so that's 14 inches long. So now what we need to do is attach the pieces together, and then we do the ribbing. It's very easy, and remember, you saw how simple it is to do the whole thing. So it's just putting doing the double crochet stitch and just making sure you have the right measurements. That's all pretty much. So you'll excuse my space. I have really limited working space. I think next time I'll have to change the shooting location, but anyways, so now we want to attach the pieces together. We'll start with the back part and the 2 pieces of the front pieces. So what I did is you put the right sides facing, right? This is the wrong side is out, the right sides are facing each other. Okay, so that's what you do. This is the, so this side is the wrong side and this the right side, and these 2 right sides are facing each other, so that makes the wrong sides to be on the outside. Oh, I just hit the camera. Anyways, so that's how we do it. I will use a darning needle to attach the pieces together, but if you don't have a darning needle, it's fine. You can always use your crochet hook to attach the pieces together, but I will not show you that today. Today I'm only working with a darning needle, so that's what I'll work with. Very easy, and it's gonna be quick. What I will do here, sorry, okay. So what I will do here is I will insert my needle. All right, I tie these 2 parts here. I like some loose yarn from when I finished the project in a Cardigan. So what I did is I tied them up together. I will cut this off later. So what I will do is the first 2 stitches here, I will take my needle and put it through, because I want to join the yarn together. So first what I will do is I will also take this end of the, I don't know how other people do it, but this is how I do it. Still, it will come out nice because this is the wrong side, so it won't show. And I tied it to make sure it's tight. And so for this stitch, there's so many stitches you can do to attach this. There's no one way of doing it. You just do whatever works for you. Whatever is easier for you is what you do. So for me personally, I just do it in different ways depending on the mood, but today, so we will take like the hook and put it on the first stitch, and then I bring it to the next one. So we just crisscrossing. This one is usually slow for me, and I crisscross and to the next one. Okay, I will do it different, just looping around, just loop around the stitches. Okay, this one is easy. Maybe it might not be the neatest, but well, it works. So what I do is, this is the stitch and this is the other stitch. So I just make a loop over. Oh, this one's, yeah, need to cut those. Okay, so there's so many ways you can do it. Either you can do it this way where you crisscross the stitches, but just do it whichever way works for you. Okay, just do it whichever way works for you. So you can crisscross like this from one stitch to another, over, and you move on to the next side and you pull over, and you go to this side from the outside, right, and you pull it and you come to the next stitch to the other side. So you're coming from the other side and you put it up together. Simple as that. So the next stitch is this one, and over, just hook, and then the next one. All right, so I've finished attaching the front panels just using that simple stitch. You see how it, so we attached here, the attachment is here, just using that simple looping method, just getting to the stitches. And the other side, same thing on this side. See, you can hardly tell that you use that simple stitch. So the next thing we'll do, we'll attach the sleeve. All right, so I will put it this side. So now you're left with something like this. This is the back, this is the front, two front pieces, and now we want to attach the sleeve. Let's do that. And remember, when we attach the two pieces together, I said like the wrong sides are facing up, so the right sides are facing each other. So now the wrong sides are facing up. That's the same thing with the, excuse me, with the sleeve. This is the wrong side of the sleeve, so we will put it also facing up. But of course we need to mark the center of the sleeve. You can either do so by counting the stitches and dividing, or well, I just do it this way. See, mark the middle, just fold it into half and mark the middle. So that's what I did, fold it into half, mark the middle, and so I put my finger. You can put a stitch marker as well, so I know my middle is here. So I will take the stitch marker and so I've marked my middle like this. So now this would be my middle, right? So now we have to attach this side and that side. Make sure these two pieces are straight. Make sure these two other pieces are straight. So I will attach this part of the sleeve together. The same way we attached here is the same way we will attach this side, all right? Just like I did before, I will put my needle here and tie, because this is the beginning. Like I said before, forgive me, this is my first time filming, so well, I'm just learning as I go how best I can film, okay? Next video will probably be better. And I'm just used to working, you know, without filming, just filming small bits and pieces. So it's quite difficult for me to be working and also filming at the same time. So now I've attached the yarn, tied it up, and now what I need to do is just use that same simple attaching method that I used before, like just going onto the stitches and just looping over and under. You can find the stitches there. I just do mine roughly, but they always come out good because this is my sweater. But still, of course, at the end of the day, you want to make sure whatever you do is nice and neat. I'm almost towards the end of the attaching the sleeve. Just been doing that simple, simple stitch attaching method. Yeah, it's quite easy. You can do whatever you want here. The goal is just to make sure that your work is securely attached, because after you're done, you don't want everything just unraveling up. So just make sure everything is nice and tight. That's why I say there's no one way of doing it. Some people do it different. I do it like this. It works for me, as I just make sure that the finished product really is knit, because that's my end goal. My end goal, I make sure that when I'm wearing something that I made, I can be proud of it. And this way it works for me. With other projects I've done it like this. I've never had a problem with it. So now I'm at the end. It's always difficult. I don't know how to finish off at the end, but I'll just do another stitch. This time I'm just looping, but reverse, going back just to secure the ends, nothing serious. I'll just do a few stitches going backwards to secure the ends so that they're tight. And here I will make a double loop, and then I cut it off. This way I know it's secure. Alright, so now I finished attaching the second sleeve. I'll cut this off later, the other hanging strings. So now I have something like this. Oh, alright, let me fix this. Alright. We have something like this. The two pieces, the two pieces together. The sleeve, you fold it into half. See, fold it into half. So needs to make sure it joins here. See, like this. Right, like this. Comes up here. We join all the way up. So that's what I will do. Oops, I keep hitting the camera stand. Alright, so this is the next thing I will do. Now I will attach the sides all the way up to the sleeve. It doesn't really matter where you start, honestly. You can either start from this side or from this side. Attaching, you still attach the sides just the same way you attach the top sides of the front and back pieces, or like the same way you attach the sleeve to the body. So that's pretty much the same method, right? I will start from the sleeve side like this, coming all the way down, because it's easier for me with the position that I'm sitting. It's easier for me to start that way. So as always, ignore the hanging yarns. These ones we'll deal with them later. So I will attach. Oh, well, I'll take this other hanging. I will. Like I said, people have different ways of attaching these pieces together, but this one is the easiest. I think it's beginner friendly. So yeah, I will attach. So I will loop. Remember when we're crocheting, the sides, every side you would always like yarn 3 when you begin. So you all sides you have like this stitches that you were yarning 3 before you turn your work. So this will be your guide. You use the stitches where you were yarning 3 before you turn over. You'll use the stitches to guide you. So these are the stitches you will use to guide you to attach the pieces together. Alright, so I'm back. I've finished attaching this side, like from the sleeve, the wrist part up till the end. And this is how it looks like. You see? You can barely You can barely see. So that's how it looks. Now I want to go on and attach the other end so we can start the ribbing. So difficult working with this limited space. So I have to make sure I show as much as possible on camera. Also while making sure that I do the right thing. Anywho, no problem. So now we will attach this in just like I did with the previous side. I will start from the sleeve, the wrist part. All right, so I will attach just like the same way. All right, so I'm back, finished with the other side. So I'm done. Stretch it up a little. Okay, so this is how it looks. Everything is done. So now we're finished. We want to do the ribbing right around the sweater. We turn our work around like that. Okay. So now we turn our work around. It's like this. So now we have something showing. You can see what we're trying to do, right? So we turn our work around and now we want to do ribbing around the sweater, like around here all the way to the neck and back, as well as on the arms, you know, right around here. So this is what we will do now. All right, so now we're about to do the ribbing. Flip your work right side out. We will do the ribbing. So this is how we do the ribbing. We have our yarn and we have our first stitch here. We'll take our yarn and make 3 chain, right? 1, 2, 3. Let me try and move closer. So we have our 3 chain, and so we yarn over, and then we come under this first double stitch, and we'll make 1 double stitch and yarn over, come to the back of this stitch and make 1 double stitch. So this will be the front post. I hope it's clear. This will be the front post and this is the back. So you come, our work is facing up, but you loop from the back of your work back and you come over and you make sorry, like this, and make 1 double crochet. So front post, and back post. Okay, so we will do this right around, like I showed you, right around the sweater, the cardigan, sorry. So when you do this, this will be our first row. We'll have something like this, a ribbing. I hope it's clear. We have something like this. So you go all the way right around the bottom like this, and I've done the last post. So what you'll do is you'll chain 3, right? Chain 3. We're still doing the same pattern, which is the double crochet. Only difference now when we're doing the ribbing is we're doing the back post and front post so that we can have like this nice ribbing part, the pattern, right? So I've chained 3 and then turn the work around. I think for each section, the bottom part, the front panels, and the arms and the sleeves, I will do 3 rows of the ribbing, right? So I will go 1 round, 2 rounds, second round, and the third round. So that'll be enough. Right now I just finished the first round, and so we did 3. So yarn over, so we skip the first one because here we have the front post, right? You see it's like this. So front, back, front. It'll be easy to see once you finish the first row, because the front post already, you can tell it like it's the bump is up, and the back post like it's on the other side, like when you, yeah. So this is what we do: chain 3, and then we do the front post just like we did the other. And the back. So let me come closer for the back post. So it's like this. I just finished the front post. The back post is, you go backwards and like this, and you pull up, you make your double crochet. Front post like that, and you make your double crochet. So you see it keeps getting longer. Now you go to the back post, make a loop, okay, front post, front. So you do this up until the end, so you get, yeah, I'll do 3 rows of back post and front post. So this, I just finished the front post, I'll do the back post. This is pretty much what you do. So we're going to do this. I'll come back after I finish the 3rd rows for the bottom ribbing. This is what you do. Just follow your front post, back post, and then I'll come back when we do the side, because the side is different. So I need to show you how to do the back post and front post for the sides. Okay, come to the end of the rib at the bottom. I've finished. See, I made 3 rows of the ribbing, so I finished. And off camera I did the one sleeve, I did the ribbing, as you can tell the difference. This hasn't been reduced, and this has already been reduced. So now I'll show you how to do the other sleeve. All right, it's very easy, same concept, but the only difference is that when we do the sleeve, you can see it's open wide, and here it's more reduced. So we first need to reduce, and then just continue doing the front post and the back post. All right, so that's what we're going to do now. And as usual, when we're working on the ribbing, we work on the right side. So I have my yarn here. I'll start where we made the connection when we joined the sleeve together. So I put my yarn, I'll bring it closer. You see this stitch here, take the yarn, pull it, okay, it's the wrong one. The first stitch there, chain 3, all right, just like how we've been doing at the beginning. Chain 3, and before we were just going on one post, front post, back post, front post, back post, but because this is the sleeve and we need to reduce so it can fit our wrists, so what we'll do, instead of making one post, one front post, one back post, we need to make 2, because we are reducing just for this one row, okay, the first row. So what we'll do for the front post, instead of 1, you will reduce with 2, like this. As you can see, this is 1, 2, so 1, you make a double crochet, and back post, same thing, you reduce 2, make a double crochet, loop, front post, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so here we're reducing so that our sleeve, so our wrist can fit, back post, 2. So this is what we will do with this row until we come back to the end. Here we reduce 2 front post, 2 back post, 2 front post, 2 back post. You do this, you go right round, but before I finish off camera, I will show you one last time. Okay, so previously we did the back post, now we'll do the front post. All right, loop over and 2 front post, yeah, over 2 back post. All right, easy, just like how we're doing it the whole time. 2 front post and 2 back post. So we'll only reduce like this only for this one row. All right, so I'll finish off camera, then I'll come back and show you how to join where we started off. Almost at the end of where I started. So I just finished making a front post. Now I have to make the back post. I'll make a back post, and now what I'll do is, remember in the beginning we made a 3 chain, which is this one, 3 chains. So I want to finish off this round. I finished off with a back post, and now what I'll do is I'll come here. There's this 3 chain here. I'll come here, make a slip stitch, okay, make a slip stitch to join, and then I chain 3. So now you have your reduction on the sleeve. Now it should be a good size, so no need to reduce after this. After this we continue as normal. You just do 1 back post, 1 front post, 1 back post, 1 front post. After we chain 3, I will show you. We've chained 3, make a loop. So here we have a front post immediately after. So now we're just doing one front post and 1 back post. All right, and 1 front post. So every time you finish the row and you come back here, when you join on this chain that you make here, you make a slip stitch, chain 3, and then just continue front post, back post, whichever comes first. So now I will go back and finish one more time, and I'll show you one more time, and I'll finish the whole ribbing for the sleeve off camera. All right, now I've come to the end of the second row that I was doing. First, second, it's the third row actually. So what I'll do is, I've made a front post and I'm now left with the chain 3 that I made at the beginning. So I'll make a slip stitch, and chain 3, and just continue the same way, front post and back post. All right, so I'll do this right around. I won't come back again until I finish this part. And for the wrist ribbing, I did 4 rows including the reduction. So 1 row reduction and 3 rows of the normal ribbing. Almost done. So now we want to work on the front part, the front panels and the neck area. So what we need to do, first need to prep this part to make double crochets, so that we can come back and do front post and back post, right? So what we need, as usual, take our yarn and place it on the wrong side, just like how we've been placing it before. Place it on the wrong side of our project, and there's the first stitch right here at the beginning, because now we're working right around. Okay, so the first stitch. All right, and place your yarn. I'll chain 3. All right, so this I'll count it as 1, 2, 3. And remember, at the end of our project, like at the very beginning, we'll always chain 3 before we turn. So now what we'll do, after we chain yarn, after we make a chain of 3, so we yarn over, and in the middle of this chain 3, middle of the chain 3, the middle of chain 3, make a double crochet, and then on the row area here, you make another double crochet. So that's what we'll do. The middle of 3, you make a double crochet, and on the row area here, you'll make another double crochet. So that's how we'll proceed until we all around, until we come back to this end part. So we'll proceed like this. In the middle, make one double crochet, and where the row starts here, you make another double crochet. So one double crochet in the middle, one double crochet in the row area, one double crochet in the middle, one double crochet in the row area, one in the middle. So you continue like this up until the end. I'll do this one last time. One double crochet in the middle and one double crochet in the row area. All right, so you continue like this until you get here. All right, so you see back, I've done the double crochets right around the front panels and around the neck area. See, now my work looks clean, and now we can start the front post and the back post to make the ribbing. And one more thing, if you find making this ribbing with front post back post difficult for you, you can just stick to making double crochets. Still not bad. You can make several rows of double crochets instead of ribbing like this one. You can just make this pattern, but I think the ribbing gives it a nice little finishing touch. All right, so I've come to the end. I will undo 2. All right, so I've come to the end. Oh, sorry, we're making double crochet. I make 1 double crochet and I'm left with 1 chain here. I'll make 1 last double crochet, and of course we have to chain 3 before we turn our work. So chain 3 and turn your work. And you already know, now we're doing the front post and the back post. So we start here, front post, back post. This is so easy. It's beginner friendly. We pretty much have been doing the same thing since the beginning. You make double crochets, you make a front post and back post. We've just been doing the same thing pretty much. We didn't change anything. So now I'll make the back post, and I'll do this one more time, and I'll finish off camera and finish the rest of the cardigan off camera, because I've been doing this over and over again, so there's no need for me to repeat it on camera. So now I'll do the front post, back post. All right, so just like this part here, I did 3 rows of ribbing. I'll do the same on this part. So I'll do 3 rows of ribbing, and then I'll finish off, and voila, we'll be done. All right, so this is now the next day, but I managed to finish my ribbing. So here we go. I did 3 rows just like how I did it at the bottom, and on the wrist, on the sleeve, I was lucky my yarn got finished just as I was finishing the last part of the ribbing, but I managed to finish, so that's good. 3 rows I think is good enough, but if you want it bigger or longer, you can make 4, you can make 5, it's all up to you. But yeah, looking good. Look at that, so cute, so good. I can't wait to wear this in the spring. Now the winter is still wintering, so I can't really wear this now, but soon spring is coming. I can get to rock this baby. So really nice and good and warm. So yeah, I know I said this is my first tutorial. I know it's just a little bit all over the place, but well, I hope I can get better with time. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, share this video, and just do all those things that people do on YouTube. Subscribe, share, like. Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Bye.